Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
Hello everybody, welcome. Let me just see. I don't know why this keeps happening, but for some reason the webcam after a certain while just is like, you know what, I'm not feeling this one. Anyway, what's up everybody? Welcome to another day of StarCraft 2. We have today quite a good couple of matches, honestly. I have to say it's a very exciting group. For a couple of reasons. A couple of reasons being that 3 of these players already have met each other in another tournament that we are doing at the moment. The Code Cynical Death, of course. This one is the Pro Circuit, but the Code Cynical Death that was going on. We actually had Rogue, Cure, and Zest all together in that Group B of that stage, and that was quite a show as well. Anyway, we might be having a little bit of a couple of rematches there, here and there. And I'm very interested to see how that's going to work out. Another interesting fact, of course, here, because kind of making this one a little bit more interesting. Innovation and Zest, the first players to fight each other. Already fought each other, I believe. Was it actually yesterday? Was it yesterday? It wasn't that long ago, that's for sure. May 26th. That was yesterday. They fought each other yesterday, and oh my dear lord, that was a crazy one as well. Zest absolutely demolishing Innovation in that one. Being able to take it 2-0 and being able to just bring the series down very easily with the help of a bunch of DTs continuously. The first game, Innovation dying to early game DTs. Second game was a little bit reminiscent of the overall last game played by Podding and TY today in the GSL. There was a late game scenario where Zest actually did do a whole lot of overall Dark Templar run-bys and stuff like that. It was an Eternal Empire. They kept coming from the same side and they kept killing bases continuously, relentlessly, without much of a sacrifice of themselves, honestly. Truly trading out magnificently. And yeah, Zest being able to take that one. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen this time around. And second of all, of course, I mean, we have Innovation. And we have Cure in this group, right? Not, where else are these two playing? I'm not completely certain. I feel like it might be like a little known tournament, GSL perhaps, right? I think that might be where it is. I could be wrong, but in the round of 4, of course, they're going to be having a best of 7 pretty darn soon. So if they actually get to fight here, that would be a little small pre-taste, a best of 3. Of course, a completely different story than a best of 7, but that might get very interesting to see how they're going to do the mind games here. And then perhaps also, of course, to see the follow-up in that best of 7 later on, right? Are they going to do completely different things here? Are they maybe going to do similar things as to what they're doing? Are they already going to implement mind games here? There's a whole lot of interesting what-if scenarios, right? If those two actually do have to fight one another. In this group stage, which I'm kind of looking forward to. If that is going to be the case, that would be very cool to see. But yeah, of course, first we will have ourselves a TVP and then a TVZ as well. Cure and Innovation. Both of these players not going to fight each other just yet. Innovation having to go up against Zest. Cure are going to have to go up against Rogue. Now, I think Cure has a little bit of an edge over Rogue at the moment. Rogue not really performing to the greatest of his previous self, right? You always expect Rogue to always be a contestant, no matter what, and he has been struggling. He's definitely been struggling. He got here in this group by... Let me double check that, actually. Alright, we are counting down as well, so the wait is not that much longer. But anyway, yeah, here we go. So Rogue beat Creator and Zaun to get here, I think, right? Didn't he? Creator and Zaun. So yeah, two CVPs, which he did manage to get into his favor. His CVT, I think he played that one as well. That wasn't that great. Are you going to be casting Battlestar later? It kind of comes down to it. This tournament somewhat overlapping. If I am going to cast Battlestar, it's going to be on my own channel, Really Kozan. That's where I usually cast it. I don't know, man. I have mixed feelings. I hope this one is going to go over quickly because of that, so I might be able to catch those games, but We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, here we go. Game number 1 of today. There's in the top left side a blue Ro8 fighting for Ro8 Gaming. He is Zest. In the bottom right side, we have ourselves a red Terran player fighting for Kaizi. He is Innovation. Alright, alright. Well, we'll have to wait and see what both these players have in store for us here today, of course. As I mentioned, we have seen these two play not that long ago. It was yesterday. Innovation not having the best the best of days against Zest that time. It might have been because of the interview that he gave about Trap, right? Saying, yeah, Trap definitely for sure the best Protoss right now available. After he just beat the shit out of out of Trap. And now he's like, you know what, Zest was coming up against him in the best of 3. And he was like, you know what, I'll show you, sir. I'll show you what I can do. Let you watch that mouth of yours a little bit more so. And now Zest back at it again. Gonna have to face him again in this situation here. It can go both ways, honestly. I think Zest one of the players that has kind of figured out Innovation a little bit here outside of the game. Also, didn't have that much on the line anymore, of course. He's just basically purely focusing on those online cups. Innovation might still be a little bit in his head, like, oh, well, if things don't work out, I'm still, you know what, in the GSL. I'm still gonna be okay. Has Zest beaten Innovation before? He beat him yesterday. He literally beat him yesterday. In another tournament we're running, it's got the AX code Cynical Death. And it was a 2-0. A 2-2-0. The first game, Zest got DT rushed. And it was abysmal for him. He didn't have a good time. The second game was a big macro game. And Zest managed to do a whole lot of overall counter-aggression with Dark Templar and Zealots, as his Death Ball just never really was in a position where it could get taken down by Innovation. Now, I don't know if you guys paid a lot of attention against, well, to the GSL matches today. I really like the way that TY kind of tried to take on parting there in the late game scenario. He definitely made it look very doable for Terrans. A lot of times Terrans, they tend to struggle with that late game versus Protoss, right? Not quite as figured out yet. And what we saw from TY was just playing it very much like a TVT in a way. What he did was he got himself a lot of siege tanks, a lot of bio. And that was a very interesting series. And kind of interested to see that work out, or how that's going to work out later on. Because the siege tanks overall, right, is that going to just be what we're seeing now instead of Liberators? Because we didn't really see any Liberators there from TY. Which makes the overall micro a bit easier for the Terran. And it still managed to zone out those Disruptors, still managed to target down the overall Colossus and stuff like that. Which was really cool to see. So I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more of the late game TVP evolving. Even if that means the end of the Liberators. Maybe just more so using the Liberators for harassment mechanics. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, we're having the blink opening here from Zest. He's grabbing himself a quick third base as well, so no aggression just yet from him. Innovation, on the other hand, is going to go for the standard with a mine opening here as well. So really, run-of-the-mill TVP so far. Nothing out of the ordinary. Gonna have to wait and see how quickly Innovation wants to take himself a third base here. We're not seeing a engineering base just yet. Also no second and third barracks yet, of course. It's gonna transition into Banshee as well, so that's pretty cool to see. But actually, Sushi would like to see Zest tries parting for Gateway Blink. Yeah, I mean, it seems incredibly strong, right? It definitely does, but you know what? As long as you can hold off against these types of Widow Mine drops as well, I think you're already in a good position. And wow, that was just in the nick of time there for Innovation pulling backwards. Another Banshee on the way. Wait, is that another Banshee or is that still... Okay, it's still the first Banshee. My bad, my bad. Okay, but there is a second Banshee on the way. Just seeing a little bit of the future here. And look at that, he's trying to hide the first one. We'll put it to the right side there. Doesn't want to reveal it just yet. Wants to come in with 2 of them at the same time. So even if there is a shield battery, he will be able to just pick away at those probe lines. 1 probe at a time. The Blink Stalkers do appear to get a little bit aggressive here, though. With that hallucination, just checking to see how much bio really is there. And deciding to back off there quite wisely. Doesn't want to commit here. I like that he's only kept 1 Stalker here on both of these edges. Of course, the medevac rather low, so not really necessary anymore to keep more than 1 single Stalker there. Alright, here we go. This is the big attack coming in from Innovation now. He's got 2 Banshees, 3 Siege Tanks, a boatload of Marines, and a boatload of SCVs marching across the map. And this is the good old TVP matchup that we know Innovation, how he likes to play it. He just likes to go for those all-ins, and this has not really been scouted just yet by Zest, has it, really? You're only now just realizing, oh my dear lord, that is in fact quite a lot of stuff. Maybe he could have kind of seen it, as he didn't see the 3rd base there for Innovation, and Zest, instead of just fighting here, is going to start running across the map. And is he going to go for a base raid? Okay, no, he is just setting up here. Okay, he is trying to intercept reinforcements, will try to remedy the situation here at home. It looks like it definitely has to do quite a bit here. As Banshee's doing the work, zoning away that Immortal and killing it off actually as well. Really nice pick of that for Innovation. This is a lot of trouble for Zest, losing that natural base here. The Siege Tanks are unsieging. This might be the moment for Zest to try and commit here. All the Siege Tanks did unsiege at the same time. Was that a bit too much? I think he might still be okay. And yeah, Innovation. You know what? Only a couple of stocks against him right now. Might be poised to take this one. Charge is completed, so that will definitely help out. Unfortunately, the Siege Tank's not dealing friendly fire there for full Zest. Was trying to make that work. Running away with those probes now. He realizes all he has to do is really hold off this attack, right? And he should be able to win this one. The Stogs in the back have been able to kind of deal with the reinforcements, but oi oi oi. A really bad movement there from those Stalkers, and that might be too much actually right now because of this, as he doesn't have anything to beat back the Banshees with anymore. Alright, GG is cold, and Innovation takes the game number 1. So yeah, overall that's not really finding the attack coming in, right? Not really figuring it out, it seems like. I think if he knew that was coming, it would have been a bit more aggressive with those initial Stalkers, right? Would have been on the other side of the map. But yeah, Innovation does do this a whole lot. That's right. It's not only against Zest either. This is a build that he loves to do against Protoss, and he has an 84 win percentage, right? Versus Protoss, so he knows what he's doing. All right, there we go. Sorry. All right. We'll have to wait and see how this is going to unfold in game number 2. Game number 2. Innovation. He is known for doing the SCV pools. He is known for really being aggressive with that 2 base. And I think this might be one of those reasons why you could say the 4 Blink Stalker Gateway build is gonna be good against this, I would say, because you will have more Blink Stalkers, you will have a more aggressive momentum on the other side of the map. You might be able to pick up some tanks before the siege tank count gets to like 3 or something mad like that. You might be able to pick up the Banshees a little bit more easily, and then once you kind of get rid of those heavy hitting units, then you can really do the micro, right, against those Marines. And slowly whittle down your opponents. But as long as those siege tanks are there, as long as those Banshees are there, man, Innovation's gonna have a good time just hunting down your units and kind of targeting down anything that gets a little bit close even. Alright, in this top right side, can he get 2 wins in a row? He's the red Protoss. He did it yesterday. He is Zest from Razor Edge Gaming. In the bottom left side, we have the blues Terran. He is fighting for Kaisi Gaming. He is none other than Innovation. You think Inno and Cure play 10 hours of customs TVT per day, nothing else for a while, so well, the matchup should be more dangerous than that. I'm not quite sure, my man. I'm not quite sure. I know Innovation doesn't really ever play the late game TVP, that's what I know. His TVC is pretty darn solid as well, though, to be fair. I think here his late game versus Protoss is a bit better. Overall, I wouldn't call it extremely unbeatable. A little bit like, you know what, Clem, you might call him kind of unbeatable in that late game TVP. As his splits are just miraculous, right? Like Moses, pretty much. Clemsus. Yukira and Ino practice against each other. I have no idea. It could be. Could be that they practice together. They are on different teams though, so I'm not sure. Probably right now for the GSL as well, you wouldn't want to play against your opponent for the GSL either, right? You wouldn't want to do that necessarily. You kind of want to keep your strategies and ideas about the matchup kind of hidden. That does give you a bit of an edge overall in the series. But then again, I suppose your opponent will have the same one as they're doing now as well. So, but yeah, normally people wouldn't really try to practice against their opponents, and they're already going to face off against one another pretty soon in a really big tournament. Which, you know, GSL, pretty much the biggest tournaments, right, for these players. It's where everything comes into play, and where they all want to try their utmost best to really get this to work. Alright, it looks like once again we are having the blink opening here from Zest, and we'd be surprised if it was something else. I'd be lying if I haven't seen something else recently, though. Although it wasn't from Zest, necessarily. And he is making stocks here as well, so I would be extremely surprised if this is, in fact, something else. There it is. There's the blink upgrade. Now, how many gateways are we going to get? So far, just the 2. I think we might be going to see a robotics facility coming up here for Zest. As Innovation is just kind of setting up with a lot of Marines, once again going for the Widowmine drop here. We'll be moving the Widowmines into his mineral fields. First and foremost, needs to take into consideration that this, of course, could also be a Stargate opening. As he never really went with that Reaper this time around, did he? Yeah, he just completely skipped a Reaper. Gets that factory a slightly bit earlier. And we'll be able to get that drop going a little bit earlier because of this as well, right? Well, okay, yeah, does have the 2 Widowmines. There's one over here and one right underneath it. Okay. Not the most common of placements, you would see. Yeah, we're seeing the exact same build here from Zest once again. Really sticking to his overall plays here. He's going to go for another time the 3rd Nexus off of the 2 gateways and the blink opening here. Against this Widowmine drop. Now, previous time, remember that Widowmine drop didn't do anything and it still looked quite abysmal for Zest. We'll have to wait and see what else he's going to do different. Actually, we do have a engineering bay this time around for Innovation as well. Did we have that the previous time as well? I'm not completely sure anymore. I think we did, right? Usually, Terrans do get themselves a +1 attack as well with these types of timings. Would be surprised if he didn't. Anyway, I'm not going to take any damage here on that medevac right now. Let's kind of safeguard it. And, you know what? So far, it is looking rather similar, isn't it? That overall Marine count, we're not seeing a 3rd base. Nothing much. Zest being less aggressive now as well with those Stalkers, right? Previous time, we had him moving out with a lot more of those Stalkers. He was kind of capable of doing so because this medevac was a lot more low HP. So he could afford to send like 4 of those Stalkers across the map to kind of keep tabs on his opponent. This time around, not really going to be the case, unfortunately. We'll be able to send that Observer across the map, though. Needs to keep tabs on the army movement here for Innovation. And as we can see, he's throwing down 2 more barracks here, which is definitely an indicator that he will once again go with the massive all-in here. +1 stim and combat shield all gonna finish up around the same time. Another little bit of one of those indicators here. Charge is gonna get chronoed out. Will finish up in time. We'll have to wait and see if this attack will actually, of course, get much done once again here. As things are looking remarkably similar for Zest. Although, you know what, he does have this War Prism right now. Might be able to keep Innovation a little bit more busy. He's waiting for the army to move out. Keeping tabs on the front door of Innovation using that Observer there. I'm a bit surprised that he hasn't moved out quite yet. Also, he has Medevacs, right, this time around, instead of the Banshees. Which is rather interesting. Okay, there we go. There's moving out, and at this moment in time, Zest will take the opportunity. Coming in with those Zealots. There they are. Hello, Innovation. Now, what is his response going to be so far? It looks like he's just pulling a minimalistic amount of Marines here. He's going to try his best to micro against this, and he's doing pretty darn good. Look at that. Only 5 Marines really committed to this with the 2 Medevacs, though. So that might still be a little bit of a deal here, as there's only now 2 Medevacs at the front door here. Knocking at the start. Oh, that's a massive warp in from Zest. We'll be able to intercept most of the reinforcements here. The force fields also buying enough time for the shield batteries to finish up. Innovation not getting as much done as quickly as the previous time. Zest definitely pressing the right buttons here. And he's sacking the space, alright. He knows he's dealt enough damage on the other side that he doesn't necessarily have to defend this base anymore. All he needs to do is buy time. He needs as much time as possible. Oh dear, that is unfortunate. One arc on there. Kind of missing the idea of how they were supposed to move. That one Medevac just barely not getting picked off. Oh, coming back. It's a little present there for Zest. Innovation's like, you know what, you should have had this. I'm not gonna get too stingy about that one. Anyway, this is still a very scary situation, honestly, for Innovation. And also Zest. Actually, I wasn't quite sure if he was going to just kind of die there with all the Marines and the Marauders coming in from the flank. On the other side, oh, you know what? I think Innovation is going to clean up the siege tanks. They're gone. Okay, so should be able to kind of stabilize from this point onwards, right? A big warp in here with 6 of those Stalkers should be able to force this backwards. And there you have it. Zest this time around holds on at a 54 armies worker count versus a 33 one for Innovation. Now, Innovation, his army still pretty scary. So maybe he is going to go for a wave number 2. Maybe he's going to pull some more boys here. No, actually, instead, just going to go for the drop play in this situation. I guess that is also viable. Oh my, that could be horrible. Zest not paying attention here. Oh, loses the War Prism, a Immortal and 2 Zealots there. Inside of that one. Not working out there. And now Innovation's army is even scarier, right? After a killing of, you know what, a good chunk of units, honestly. A War Prism, a Immortal, and 2 Zealots there for absolutely free. That's quite a bit of extra supply now, not available for Zest here. And Zest, what does he have to work with? He does have that storm coming up here. It's going to come down to how well those storms land. He almost has it. The Eye Templar already being revealed, though. Okay, there is the storm trying to get to... I suppose they land okay, but not the most amazing ones. There's 2 more remaining here. Let's see, that one lands alright, but most of the damage gets healed up by those Medevacs again. Innovation might still be able to get something to work here. 1 storm remains. Just needs to dodge that one. Okay, only like hitting 3 of those Marines right there. And yeah, I think this is just too much here for Zest to hold on to. And, well, GG is called. GG once again. Innovation takes it. 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row. No problem for this man. Alright. Bit unfortunate there for Zest not being able to pick that one up there. Anyway, thank you all for the follows. Much appreciated. Seconds to be Lipsy. I am Phyto, Nona 7777, Sheepback, Nukmal, and Juan Peter. Ahimsa 5 Storms BG. I think that's about it. Anyway, thank you guys all for hoping and giving those follows. What's up, everybody in the chat? How you doing? Pearl, I see Pearl. Let's see. Inch to Maniac here again. Droptimus. Awesome to have you guys here. A lot of other people too. Henra, Amazed, Alan Torrey dropping in the follow as well. Much appreciated, my dude. Much appreciated, guys. Remember that there is a Matcherino page for this one as well. This tournament not yet out of all those codes, so it still can be abused a little bit here, right? We can pump a little bit more overall financial influence in the StarCraft 2 scene and make it great again. By just using up a couple of codes and getting everything sorted out there. Anyway, yeah, looking forward to that. To have those codes used up, of course. There's also a replay pack available. And anything else? Anything else on that? Oh yeah, I remember. Hold up, I'll actually bring you guys in here. Let me see if this is the right screen. Is this the right screen? It is the right screen. Okay, hold up. Oh, that's the wrong button though. It's the wrong button. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so this is the Matcherino page. All you gotta do is sign in with a well, you can use your Twitch if you really want to. That's all you gotta do. Press contribute, put in that code. I think it is what is it again? ITaX2. There you go. Fill that in. I've already used it, so I can do it again, but that's all, my man. That's all. Slight little clicking and more money to the overall prize pool. Of course, also there is for the American people. Let me see. There's a survey quest over here, as you can see. If you are from the US of A or the Canadian states, you can fill the survey in, and it will add $1 full to the prize pool. So that always helps out as well, of course. Or if you're from that similar neighborhoods, you can get yourself some great deals, and while doing that, get yourself also $1 extra added to the prize pool here. All you gotta do is text Gamer2 to 876642, and well, you'll get some offers, you'll get some great deals from Sonic for meals that you can get there. And, well, if you don't want those deals and you still want to add the $1 to the prize pool, all you got to do is text Gamer2 first to this number, and then afterwards text stop to the same number again, and then you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Replay pack for all 7 days and a bunch of other stuff here, including a caster tip jar, all available. All available right here. All right, so yeah, with that out of the way, let's see where we are at with the veto process. Looks like we're just kind of still saying hi, hello. I'm not quite sure where Cure is right now. Is Cure not here? Is that actually happening? Huh. That could be a problem. That could indeed be a problem. Well then. Oh my. Oh my. I've had this happen one time before in one of these tournaments. And I believe it was with... what's the dream? Oh, there he is. Never mind. He's here, guys. He's here. He's here. He's a professional. I don't know who it was anymore that we didn't get to have to play in those in the overall tournaments. Let me see. I think it was also for the pro circuits. Let me see. Was it Dream? Wasn't Dream. Was it Bunny? No. Cure? No. Oh wait, yeah, it was Hurricane. Hurricane, right. For some reason I thought it was a Terran. But yeah, it's not. Anyway, really cool t-shirts. Yeah, they are some pretty badass t-shirts. Go do check with your mom though beforehand. That is important. I actually have one of the big sweaters, or how do you call it, a hoodie, right there behind me. I always have it on the background because if I wear it, I have to wash it continuously. And this way, I can just always have it around, you know, always on display a little bit. It would be nice maybe if I could like hang it up from the wall. But then I'd have to glue it, and that might not be a problem. Who's win? In what series? In what series? Are you asking for predictions, or you want to know who won in the previous game? In 01. That's right. That's right. And in this one, I'm pretty darn sure Cure's gonna win, right? Rogue, no offense to Rogue, but I know he's still one of the stronger Zergs in Korea, but I mean, I'm just not sure if you can put him in that top 3 anymore, right? He's just been kind of lacking here and there, right? Not really getting everything sorted as much as he would want to. Keep in mind. Yes, of course. My shirt and sweater can be used for a tent for normal people. That's right. In fact, people have made the offer, but I said, you know what, I will get cold if I do give away all my sweaters and shirts. But you know what, it's a nice deal, though. You know, I can buy a shirt for the regular price of a shirt and then sell it for the value of a tent. So it's pretty nice, pretty nice. All right, now I don't know if I'm yelling more than often normally. I have this weird ear canal, and sometimes it just clogs. It's really annoying. My grandfather has it as well. A cousin of mine has it as well. It's a thing that runs in the family. And well, today I am partially deaf again, so that's annoying. But anyway. Rogue usually takes time off after every tournament win. Yeah, that's right. I heard somebody say as well that they learned Rogue doesn't feel that overall motivated to play as much. So that's probably something that has a lot to do with it, right? Anyway. We're still waiting. We're still waiting for him to suddenly make a resurgence. Of course, he is still playing in these tournaments. He is still playing in the GSL and stuff like that, right? He is still being used as a practice partner, as we learned. TY playing a lot with Rogue in order to prep against Dark. So that makes a lot of sense. And so yeah, you know what? He is still really up there. He's just not quite up to the usual shape that we expect him to be, right? We are used to seeing Rogue be a player that is quite capable of taking maps at any time, winning a tournament at any time. Always one of those guys that you kind of just have to keep in mind, being like, you know what, he could just win this entire thing. And now it's like, well, he might take some games here and there, but probably not the overall victor, right? At least that's how I feel about it. But yeah, all right. Well, we need more money now to go to a world champion. Yeah, exactly. He comes back when he's burnt through his money. That's right. That's right. That's nice. That is nice. Alright, anyway. You're considering the ITaX flag, yeah. I should as well. It would look nice over there. It would look nice. Anyway, let's see. Let's see here, guys. Another best of 3. Another first match of this best of 3. We kind of went quickly through the first series, but let's hope these other ones have a bit more in store for us. Well, let's wait and see. In the top right side, we have ourselves a blue Zerg player for Jin at Green Wings. He is Rogue. Is the AX code Cynical Death not going to be played today? No, it will not be played today. It's going to be continuing onwards on... I want to say Friday? Let me see. May 29th. So yeah, that will be on Friday. It's going to continue onwards on Friday. And, yeah, 2 PM CEST. Is that again after GSL? I'm not completely sure. Probably is, right? Otherwise, we usually put it a little bit earlier on. Anyway, in the bottom left side, we have ourselves a red Terran. He is from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He is Cure. The beast, the monstrosity of the online tournament cups. Will he be able to take this one as well? We'll have to wait and see. He might be able to take this best of 3, I'd say, but in what fashion? In what kind of fashion are we going to see Rogue today? Maybe Cure's not feeling it all that much, but you know what? I definitely do want to see Cure take this one, just so we get ourselves a little bit of a prequel to the GSL match coming up, Cure versus Innovation. So yeah, if you want to see that one, of course, you're gonna be cheering for Cure here, and Luckily for us, he is the favorite overall. Doesn't necessarily mean everything. Doesn't necessarily have to mean everything. Yesterday I casted a game on my own channel. Well, a best of 5 Alpha League, Team League, you know. It was a semi-pro series, but it was only for a couple of people of my old team. A team I used to be on, but how big is the flag? I don't know actually. Anyway, so yeah, we had multiple players on the my old team, which were like 500 to 300 SR below their opponents, and they managed to scratch their way through with a clean 4-0 victory. So I'm actually cheering for Ro8 to give them some rest for Saturday. Well, I don't know. I am not for sure. Although, you know what, that might give me more time. Like, TVT usually goes kind of long, so maybe this does give me a bigger chance to be able to catch the Battle Star as well. You can wrap yourself around it like a towel. So is it a towel size? And is this like your small Asian body, or is it good enough for my big Dutch body as well, Sushi? Or can I use it as a shirt, or? Oh, there we go. There we go. Polyester flag with 4 metal rings. Did Inno win? Yes, he did. 2-0. Clean victory within half an hour. Oh. Hello? Oh. Okay. Fusion core. Interesting stuff. I think I'm bigger than you, actually. Oh, man. Alright. Alright. That doesn't make me feel bad. Man. Well. Oh, that Reaper just barely getting away there. Yeah, I don't do those types of measurements. I don't do those types of measurements. Anyway. Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna go into mech here for Cure. Should be pretty cool. More creep tumors being spread everywhere. It's like tumors, literal tumors. Literal tumors. Pronunciation, man. Sometimes it just won't work. Trying the left, trying the right. I mean, this is some pretty still Hellion harassment so far. Just moving back and forth, keeping those queens on their toes. It's like he's got them on patrol over here, honestly. Alright, we'll put them to work now on this side of the map. Kills off a couple of those tumors immediately. They are being respread though, so. And on the other side, Ro8 taking the initiative with those. We'll need to keep an eye on that on the battlecruiser now, of course. There it is. We'll be able to teleport its way right on top of those queens, actually. Is that gonna be okay? Well, I suppose with the armory added in as well, those Hellions now transforming into Hellbats. It's gonna be a whole lot of damage, actually, I think. But then again, look at the amount of queens that are still at the top there. 6 queens right now. The Banelings actually getting pretty darn good connections there. And oh my dear lord. Cure doesn't get anything done with a attack that I thought might do quite well in this situation. But a marvelous ult for Rogue so far. Dear lord. Alright, so let's see overall, yeah. Very equal exchange of minerals, and I'd say that is definitely going to go to the benefit here for the Zerg player, of course. Does still have all those queens to spread creep with, has all the workers still remaining, and that was quite a big investment for Cure. He does have his own third base, though. It's not on position just yet. Rogue is making a 4th at the same time, and I suppose he did keep the battlecruiser alive as well, so, I'm not 100% convinced who is in the more favored position here. Maybe they're still kind of equal, right? So these types of mech plays usually kind of still capable of you know what, just scratching their way back into a winnable position here. Clawing their way back into the favorite, being the favorite player to win this. We'll have to wait and see though, of course. A couple of Hellions getting called out. Battlecruiser has to be put to work, killing off smallings. It's kind of amazing actually that they do manage to shoot all these tiny little projectiles that much without missing a single one of them. They must have some sort of an AI program to shoot down those Zerglings, right? I mean, if there's actual people manning the guns from like miles or up in the sky, just kind of shooting down Zerglings, that would be rather impressive. Luckily for those potential gunners, the game, of course, not necessarily fully skilled as it should be, as it is lore-wise, but if it were, that would be a hard thing to do. Anyway, Mutalisks now gonna join the party as well. Quite a lot of them immediately returning the favor here as the Halberds are like, you know what, we're gonna do economic damage. It's like, just wait and see what we can do, my man. There's not a single missile turret here anywhere. And you know what, maybe Rogue, I've sold him a little bit short here. He's definitely making this, making some waves. And GG is called. Yeah, there you go. Definitely falling quite short in the mech play here this time around. Not quite able to keep himself in that one. And, yeah. I mean, I suppose when your attack like that goes, like, as such, probably not the best way to start it off. But then, I thought it would be kind of okay, kind of equalizing, but, yeah, just not having any time of preparation for those Mutalisks. Taking even more damage there. Zerglings also running in at the same time, not getting anything done with his own Hellions and Hellbats, running into a base where there's just no drones available to kill, so... yeah, that's not a great way to get drone kills, of course. Unfortunately. Cure couldn't have known, of course. Maybe a scan, but yeah. Anyway, Rogue getting himself the first win. Not too bad, not too bad. Sushi, he would like to see Rogue do well today. Snowfall, though, of in at 3. Snowfall. Is that what it types? Oh, no, wait. It's 1H... I don't even know. Is it... I hate... oh, I hate Snowfall. I see. Alright. Thought that was an N for a moment. And then I ate snow. It could have been I ate snow. But I hate Snowfall is the thing. Enough of an analysis of that name. MB10 also, thank you for that follow. Much appreciated. Hope you're having yourself a good time here with the games so far. Yeah, that was a bit of a lackluster game of Cure there, I have to say. The overall attack, I mean, you can definitely see that work. Rogue just completely prepared for it. Had the Banelings, had the Queens, everything he needed. And that was definitely a problem there. Anyway, he's gonna go for a proxy 2 racks, it looks like. No third SCV just quite yet. True, it's not GSL. There wouldn't be no reason for him not to show his strategies, because there is no Zerg remaining in the GSL. So... yeah. That's right. That's right, Demonum. Demonum Camo. When I cheese, it's no cheese, it's actually just sour milk that is being used. Anyway, we see a spawning pool first here for Rogue as well, so that's kind of working out for him. It's actually really working out for him. You know, spawning pool first is something you see more often on this map in particular, as it does facilitate quite nice play. Having 2 openings here, it's a little bit more tricky for Terrans to really wall everything off in time. You might be able to get a nice delay on that command center. Anyway, the proxy 2 racks not yet has been scouted, or hasn't yet been scouted. You want some cheese with that milk or wine? Wine and milk. I'm not sure if that is anyone's cup of tea. Right, the Overlord now not even really seeing those SCVs moving across the map. So that would have been another moment where he might have been able to get something sorted. Actually, going to go up to a Roach Warren as well here. That's very interesting. So there definitely was some sort of an all-in plan here for Rogue. It all gets scouted though by Cure right now because of that proxy 2 racks. And with the 2 racks on the other side of the map, you should have enough time to start prep for this and kind of keep Rogue busy, I would say, right? Because now you either need to get yourself a couple of roaches, alright? So he's going to get himself the roaches. Isn't getting himself link speed quite yet though, but isn't he just going to be kind of forced to stay on his side of the map here with those roaches? Against this amount of Reapers? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. The roaches do seem to be favored, of course, in that roach versus Reaper overall battle. And Cure really doesn't have anything at home. He is trying to keep those roaches away, trying to snipe some of them as they are coming across the map here. There's quite a lot of roaches though, waiting in the shrubbery. Perhaps to find those Reapers overextending a little bit. And yeah, I'm very surprised that we don't have a single bunker quite yet for Cure being constructed. I suppose with the Overlord right above here and the Ravagers also coming in, that would be a problem perhaps. Right? Oh, that's actually very nice. Needs to get that one roach there. Okay, does manage to get that one. Trying to snipe away slowly at those roaches. Trying to split them up here. And divide and conquer. One Cyclone is getting constructed. If that Cyclone is gonna get into play, that might be a very big deal as well, of course. Cyclone's a master of destruction when it comes to roaches. More Reapers here. You know what? That micro from Cure seems to be carrying him through so far pretty darn well. As Rogue behind this just made a whole bunch of drones, though. We need to keep that in mind as well, of course. It's not just that Cure now didn't really get to do anything with the proxy 2 racks. Also, he's quite far behind on the economy, right? Only now starting that second base. Doesn't want to play, you know. No bunkers deliberate. Yeah. That makes sense. It makes sense. Oh boy. Overextending slightly there. Nice use of the shrubbery. We'll be able to show these units though, of course, with the barracks. Okay, there's the first Cyclone now, being able to kind of clean this up. It does kind of feel like, you know what, Rogue, he was in a potential situation where he could have been able to just push this one through, right? Force his way across the map here. But now with the Cyclones, you know what, maybe Cure's is going to be able to make some magic happen. There's no link speed quite yet, right? So the Cyclones definitely should be able to continue. Oh wait, actually there it is. It is here. Never mind. My bad. Wow. Anyway. But with this amount of Reapers out here as well, should be able to safeguard those Cyclones for now. Once again, a nice lock on. Just barely not being able to clean up the targets though, so far. And yeah, Rogue definitely doing pretty darn solid so far. If he gets himself in the match against Zest, that might be his ticket out of there. He does alright in the overall ZVP as well. Previous time though, when he did play against Cure, when he did play against Zest, he did go down 2-0, I believe. Well, maybe it was 2-1 against one of them. And that was in the Cynical Death groups. Aye. Getting caught in that little corner there. Will be able to get cleaned up rather nicely by Rogue. One single barracks looking over the base that he didn't get to kill there. Wow, it's a lot of points being spent here right now. Yeah, this is a rough position here for Cure, of course. After losing the units there in particular, of course. Not really quite getting a lot in his favor done here. Once again, he is going to go for the mech, and I mean, the mech play didn't really work out for him here the previous time. With that timing attack at least, he is mixing it up a little bit, is getting himself a Banshee first and foremost. Didn't get himself Cyclones either, of course, in that previous game. But so far, also, we're not seeing any Hellions quite yet, so... I'm afraid what a bunch of Zerglings might be able to do if the battle mech ever really comes across the map. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe the battle cruiser might be able to clean up though. Might be able to help out. Alright, well, Spire also already in production. Should help out incredibly well against the battle cruisers. And there's the Ravagers right now, getting targeted down by the Cyclones. That tech lab, no, meant for this life. And yeah, here's the Zerglings. Getting a little bit of a free pass here. Nice micro so far from Cure, but it's just not enough, right? After the amount of damage he took kind of from those roaches and getting himself in a very awkward position there. Rogue goes up 2-0. Rogue bringing his A game today, and that means, unfortunately, we're not gonna get Inno versus Cure just yet. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens with Innovation versus Rogue. If Rogue is able to beat Innovation now as well, he's been practicing again. He's definitely been. He's definitely gonna be back at it again. It looks like. Although you know what. I'm not quite sure how he realized that the Hellbats and the Battlecruiser were coming in. It definitely looked like he just did, right? Cure's not playing normally. Yeah, I'm not. Cure usually a bio player, isn't he? He's more well known for his bio play, not really all that well known for his mech play. So I'm a bit surprised that he is actually going for this heavy mech play right now. Is there another tournament that he's in right now where he does have to play against a lot of Zergs? I don't think he is. Anyway, I might be wrong on that one. Who will play now? Now we will have Rogue versus Innovation. They are doing the vetoes. Innovation vetoing Everdream. And then afterwards we're going to go into Zest versus Cure. What's the score? The score is 2-0 for Innovation in Innovation versus Zest, and 2-0 for Rogue in Rogue versus Cure. So, you know, that first game, not a really massive upset. That could go both ways. But the second game, you know what? I really didn't expect that one. I really didn't expect that one, honestly. Rogue, every single time when we do have him over here, not always really up to snuff, not always really getting the games that we expect from him. And this time around, you know, he definitely brought his A game. He really read the situations perfectly. He prepared for it perfectly, and he absolutely demolished. Okay, it's half the price now. Nice. Nice. Honestly, I see a lot of people putting it on to like 100s. We could even put it on like 200 points, right? I don't know. I mean, Rogue. Yeah, it is Rogue. It is Rogue after all. Yeah, I still didn't expect it. Honestly. But you know what? This might be the start of him getting out of his slump, so that would be pretty cool, of course. I mean, Cure, no slouch either. But then again, Cure not really playing his standard play there, I would say, either, right? So, it's a rough one. It's a rough one to really analyze because of that. Was it really Rogue just being that much better? Or was it also just him kind of getting... like, that second game, definitely a build order win, right? Definitely. The first game... I guess also a little bit, right? He made all the queens for the battlecruiser, and he had his banelings already set up. The Hellbats just too clumped to really fend off against those banelings, and immediately just coming in with them, blowing every single Hellbat up. Pretty darn good there as well in the build order wise. And I mean, if you invest that much into Hellions, that many Hellions, the battlecruiser, you delay your overall economy as Cure, you just are in a very awkward position for the later parts of the game. And then also just not having missile turrets for the Mutalisk, right? You could say, well, he could have scanned, he could have scouted for it. That's right, I suppose, but I mean, well, he didn't, and that is still a little bit of one of those things where, like, all right, well, if I had scouted it, I would have been in an okay position. If I hadn't scouted it, well, I'm just dead, right? He's just dead. That's what it comes down to. So, You know what? I still need to see a bit more of Rogue to really be convinced that Rogue is in his top shape right now again. Because I'm not sure we can really claim that from those 2 games, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, if he takes on innovation as well, I might have to reconsider that point. Or even if he shows really great games here as well, right? Innovation, of course, possibly the best Terran around right now. Maybe. In the TVC and the TVP matchup, I feel like, you know, for certain in the TVP matchup. I don't know how he does it, but every time he just all-ins off of 2 bases and it just works every single time. But yeah, well, every single time. Every 84% of the times. Which is nuts. Which is an absolute ridiculous win rate. But yeah. Alright, anyway. Let's see what these guys want to do here. We're starting off with a Korean named map. The second one is also a Korean named map. The third one is Everdream? That's not supposed to happen. I thought Innovation... Okay, there we go. Eternal Empire, Nightshade, and Simulacrum will be the map pool. Eternal Empire, it's a nice long big map. Good chances that we do get ourselves a big macro game here, of course. At the same time, maybe that is a good reason for you to throw in some cheese, right? Because that is the macro map, the known macro map. So maybe here, the cheese is least to be expected. We'll have to wait and see. But then again, because that is also already kind of an accepted hypothesis, hypothesis, hypothepitus. I don't know anymore what point I was trying to make. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should. Maybe you should. I feel like it's a 50-50. I just call it 50-50. Let's put these players in the player seats. Let's get them to play some StarCraft for us. Alright? I don't know what Inu is doing. Must be getting some sort of a whisper or something. Maybe still analyzing those games. So yeah, the fun part is that... Let me actually revisit the group that they fought each other in. So... Zest was able to... Let me take a look. He played 2-1 versus Rogue, so that was kind of close. The previous time, Zest also 0-2'd Cure. And Cure 2-0 versus Rogue. This was all in the Cynical Death tournament that we're also running. Non-stop A move, but yeah. I mean, he might not want to play against Inno right now, but that is the perfect reason for us to want him to play Inno right now, because that might get crazy. It might get crazy. They might just try to do weird stuff to throw them up for the next upcoming tournaments, right? Well, the GSL, in their best of 7. And it's only a best of 3, so it's a maximum of 3 games. But I would be incredibly excited if we do get a chance for Innovation versus Cure here. Of course, it's going to come down to Rogue. He needs to beat Innovation first and foremost, and I'm not quite sure if that is... If that's going to be doable here. Innovation, an absolute beast as well. But then again, I also said the same thing about Cure, so... It is the best of 3. Build order wins are a thing as well, of course, so we'll have to wait and... there we go. Continuing onwards. Continuing onwards. Anyway, no issues with Rogue versus Inno. It should be try-harding. That's right. That's right. No conflict of interest whatsoever. Both these players wanting to win with their entire hearts. They don't want to hide anything here. They just want to continue onwards and not have to go up against either Zest or Cure in a later part of this game. Anyway, on the bottom left side, we have ourselves a red Terran player fighting for Kai Z Gaming. He is Innovation. Top right, the blue Zerg fighting for Jenna Greenwings. Doing pretty well against Cure. Can he do it one more time here? And change my mind about him. He is a Rogue. Alright. bunker. Oh, and sorry, barracks. That's a barracks goes in. Thank you. Dropping that supply depot. Quickly gonna grab myself a slight drink here as we wait for things to really unfold into the exciting bits. Well, not yet, right? Not yet. Okay, we're still good. Oh, that's cold. Oh, maybe my fridge is lower than normal. Or my teeth are very, very sensitive today. What am I drinking? I'm drinking fermented cheese. Boiled down into a liquid. Right, anyway. Again, no Reaper opening here for innovation. This is starting to become pretty standard for him, huh? Normally the trademark unit you would see every Terran always make. Not really being chosen to be built by innovation so far. You gotta wonder why. Maybe he feels like it's more important to get that factory up a little bit earlier. Maybe he likes to get his gas a little bit later. So he can get himself a quicker command center. Something like this might be the reason why. If you really want to figure out, the best way to do it, of course, would be through the replay pack. Replay pack available on the Matcherino page if you are very interested. Just for a measly $10, you will be able to get all the replays for all 7 days, and that is quite a number of games, honestly. Well, you can see this group, right? This is just one group, and we've had what is it, like 5 other groups like this, and we're still gonna have the well, the rest of the games of today, and we're gonna have the playoffs still, right? So that's still 2 best of 5s and a best of 7 on another day coming up. That will be the 7th day, of course. Also, a way to get the replays is usually by becoming a Patreon sub, and what? Man, hopefully Terrans loving their mech today, don't they? Anyway, yeah, Patreon subs also, they do get most of our replays, and I believe that both this tournament and the Cynical Death tournament are mixed in. Did Cure win? No, he didn't, actually. He lost 2-0 against Rogue, which is, I know. I was surprised as well, honestly. Wasn't expecting this. But it's where we're at right now. And now we're in the winner's match with Innovation and Rogue. Personally, when we started this today, I thought Zest might be able to take 2 games again off of Innovation. We saw it happen yesterday. But that kind of just shows what one day can do, right? One day this person wins, the other day this person wins. And this time around, Innovation being able to get the victory there. It is incredibly volatile game, of course. Let's wait for the battle cruisers here, and then we'll have something really, some real aggression coming out. Rogue building a bailing nest to make a wall here, it looks like, but then also breaking down the rocks. So mixed messaging for sure. I'm always confused when I see people do this, right? Building another extension of the natural wall here, and then being like, you know what? I don't want a wall here. Let me get rid of it. Or just get it really low so that later on I can get rid of it. And then building a full wall here. Alright. I suppose Hellions aren't really going to get through here anyway, right? But then still, I don't know. Anywho, do we have an armory this time around as well? No, we do not. So it is just going to be the Hellions this time around. No investments into any type of a hellbed attack here, and there's not that many queens available. The Bailing Nest is ready, but the Bailings are not ready quite yet, and this already is a completely different story than game number 1 between Pure and Rogue. Pure lost his hellbeds very quickly due to the Bailings that were already available. And those queens were a lot more numerous, never really fell to the Hellions and the battlecruiser combined. And look at that, 12 worker kills here from the Terran player. Innovation has got to feel good about that one. He's going to get himself the Yamato cannon and another battlecruiser as well. And transitions right into the mech play. Well, I say transition, he's just continuing onwards with the mech play. I could assume Rogue, as a pro gamer, has very good reasons to do this, but I will instead say Rogue is dumb and terrible at this game. Like, what? Why? Why, Inchtomaniac? What are you talking about? Was he, This is not the Castaway. Oh well. With the rocks. Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot about those rocks. And the buildings. Yeah, it's an interesting one, right? I think he just wants, like, in this little down period of time, he's gonna get it almost killed off, and then later on he might want to make use of it, so he gets rid of it, in a way. Almost gets rid of it. Anyway, we have another attack here. Another battlecruiser shows up. 2 Yamato cannon should be more than plenty to kill off 2 queens here. Yeah, he still has 1 shot, right? There you go. Now only 3 queens remaining. The Hellions should be enough to really get more damage dealt here on their own, as there's not that much remaining anymore for Rogue to really defend here. More of those drones fall very quickly. 11 more gonna get burnt to a crisp. And yeah, look at the worker count now. Innovation with a nice, comfortable amount here in comparison with his opponent in particular. Of course, the Zerg would love to be ahead, especially when playing against mech. You need to just continue to expand, continue to take the overall economic advantage and bring it to the extreme. As it's just the way to do it, right? The mech trades out super efficiently, and if you don't, then that is definitely a problem. And well, as I'm describing that situation, we can kind of assume or realize that, you know what, Rogue is in a problematic situation here. He's making a lot more drones right now. He's trying to catch back up again. But Inno's showing Cure how it's done. It's like, you know what, I see what you tried to do there, and I'm gonna one-up you in this one. I'm definitely gonna just bring you quite a lot of pain here. Both to Rogue and Cure. How many Corruptors? 7 Corruptors so far against those 3 battlecruisers. I don't think that's going to be enough. We'll not be able to really shut down any battlecruisers here. It's just going to get Yamato and then TP'd out of there. Actually, just targeting down more of them as well. He's just going to take this fight. He's like, alright. You want to take this fight? That's fine with me. We'll tread out more favorably. Wait, was there an ad break in the middle of the... that shouldn't be happening here. Sorry, Colin, if that did occur. I'm not sure how that happens sometimes, honestly. I hope you're the only one. I hope you are the only one. It is constantly happening to me, though. Wait, what? Wait, what? Alright, anyway. We don't want that to happen, of course. Regardless, I'm going to continue onwards with casting this game. Battlecruisers, Hellions, and a siege tank now as well. Look at that, they're ready to become their big brother battle mech army, Hellbat style. Let's see what they can get done over here. There's no banelings just yet available. A couple of them are being morphed in. But it's only 7 banelings right now, isn't it? Holy moly, only 7 banelings. And most of them connect though, so a lot of those Hellbats do go down. But, I mean, there's still force, there's still siege tanks, and there's still a couple of battlecruisers here as well. Does Rogue actually have enough? The army supply really doesn't tell that story. I think that Rogue is pretty much, well, in a boatload of trouble here. You know what? He's in so much trouble, the boat is leaking. And, well, it's filled with poisonous gas. It's on fire. It's about to explode. It's sinking. Well, it's also going up in the air, levitating for some reason. Because, you know what else can go wrong? Alright, it's the opposite of sinking. Which isn't floating. Well, I guess it is floating, but floating the wrong direction. Losing all weight of his ship and just going into space without any spacesuits on. So, there you go. Rogue getting a little bit of the different kind of Terran medicine there. Getting shot down with the battle, well, not the battle mech, just the regular mech army here for Rom Innovation. Thank you for the follows, guys. Scroll Koopy, Tyrion Strongjaw, Blasted 101, Robo God, Embitan. I think those are the people that I kind of left out there for a moment. Anyway, game number 2 coming up. Remember, guys, Hellbat Man back at it. Nice. What did I want to say? Right, okay, ITaX, we are a kind of a big, well, I want to say big organization, but I think for overall, for the StarCraft 2 scene, I think ITaX does have quite a numerous amount of people helping out behind the scenes. We have all sorts of people organizing the tournaments. We have people organizing the Discords and events within the Discords. We have people helping out the players. We have players, of course. We host, I want to say, the most events of any other StarCraft 2 team. Unless if you would consider Wardy a StarCraft 2 team. But, yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. There's people trying to get sponsors together, talking to sponsors, things like this. And, you know what, none of this would be possible without the help of the viewers, of course. Having all of you tuning in, handing out those follows, the subs that we get, the Patreon subs that we get as well. It's very much appreciated, guys, and we love you for it. It's just, you know, it has to be said sometimes. All right, anyway, here we go. Game number 2. In the top left side, we have ourselves a red Terran player. He is fighting for KC Gaming, and ooh my, he is Innovation, surprising everyone with a single SCV. Followed up by a secondary SCV. Will there be a third? I don't think there will be. Alright, well anyway. In the bottom right side, we have ourselves a blue Zerg. Fighting for Gina Green Wings. He is Rogue. Rogue. Rumbler. Rogue the Rumbler. This is a funny place. Look at the location of these barracks. This is kind of like the new place to do so, right? I mean, Overlords, they like to check over here. They like to check over here. But you know what? Apparently, Rogue is the one player that likes to check the middle here with both of his Overlords. Which is a bit unfortunate for Innovation. But you know what? It looks like both those barracks will still shoot complete at least, right? I don't think you're going to get drones over there in time, really, to help this out anymore. Or to stop this from going up. And in a way, this is kind of funny because the barracks as well, they have a less long distance to fly back home again, I suppose, right? So they're still in a pretty reasonable position, still very close to his opponent. But also not too far away from his own base. And there's the drone pools, only 4 so far being pulled. It's not going to be enough as soon as those 2 Marines show up, of course, but... Or even a single Marine, actually. Right? Okay, more drones now being lifted off of mining duty. Don't want to get themselves into trouble, but you know what? Under the watchful eye of his overlords here. Looking to get us around perhaps on those Marines. Doesn't want to take too much damage just yet. Waiting for a couple of Zerglings as well, it looks like. Okay, he is going to go for the surround here. Actually coming in from behind. Trying to get on the production, I suppose. Weird, awkward dance right now as Rogue just not really getting a lot of mining done, of course, during all of this, right? A bit surprised with the overall response so far, but he's being very, very methodical about how he wants to engage with those drones. And now, ooh, actually not really being able to block those Marines from getting into the bunker, and that is a big deal here. That is an enormous deal, and look at the workers getting targeted down. GG is called. Just a slight little bit of miss micro there from Rogue, not being able to get on top of the Marines, not being able to keep the Marines out of the bunker. And that one was a bit of a bop, wasn't it? Jeez. Jeez, innovation. What has Rogue done to you? Why does he deserve this? He really doesn't, in my opinion. But you know what? Apparently, innovation feeling differently here. And yeah, being able to take the 2-0 victory there versus Rogue. Alright, that means the next one will be, of course, Zest versus Cure. Also, guys, we have to remember there's not going to be any possibility anymore here for having ourselves a Cure versus Innovation match, which is unfortunate. Innovation being the first player of this group to qualify for the overall, whatchamacallit, playoffs, right? He's going to be in the the semi-finals, sorry. These are the quarterfinals, actually, aren't they, already? Man, we're in the quarterfinals. I should have been hyping this up a lot more. Innovation has gone rogue. I like that. I do enjoy myself a good name pun. Alright, anyway, Cure and Zest, who's going to be taking it in this series over here? I say coming up with that one. I don't want to take the glory of that. Okay, so Zest versus Rogue, the previous time they fought was on May 20th, at least for our tournaments. And that was a 2-1 victory for Zest, it looks like. It's going to be interesting to see if Zest is going to be able to do the same here. I think I remember that one being relatively close. I also seem to remember a whole lot of cheese from Rogue at that moment in time. Alright, let me try to run some ads right now, guys, so we don't get them anywhere during the overall games, okay? Okay, let me try to press it right now. And I can't start it, so it's definitely interesting. Yeah, sometimes I don't know exactly how that works with the ads. I feel like maybe I need to just be more on top on getting it rolling on the during the breaks, right? So that it's less likely to happen during games, because sometimes I feel like Twitch is just like, oh, let's just do it ourselves. This guy's not pressing it enough. That's when I do it. Alright, so yeah, the ITaX Cynical Death thing will be on Friday. And we'll be continuing that one. I believe there's still one more group to be played in that as well, isn't there? Let me take a look on that. Yeah, there's Dream, Rainer, Stats, and Trap. A big group there as well. Unfortunately, Clam being eliminated from that Group A on the group that we saw yesterday. Yeah, alright. And Estrella as well, of course. The two foreign players. Maybe not the greatest sign for Rainer here. He's the lone survivor of the foreigners. This is a very tough group of Protoss and Terrans. And they're all from the Korean place in the world. The Korean region. TSO211, thank you for that follow. Shro Koopy, thank you for the follow as well. Tyrion Strongjaw, I think I already shouted you out, didn't I? I don't know. Well, otherwise, welcome again. Welcome again. Hope you're still having a good time. Alright. Man, I don't know if you guys ever had an ear that just stopped functioning, but it's rather annoying. It is rather something else. And yeah, it will be on this stream. Trap versus Rainer. Man, a lot of people looking forward to the Cynical Death tournament, aren't they? That's a lot of hype. It is a lot of hype. There's a similar tournament with Zest, Innovation, and Clam in the group, also cast by ITaX SC2. Just played a few days ago. Was there? Huh. I think it was yesterday. It was Zest, Innovation, Clam, and Estrella. It was the Cynical Death tournament. I can link it to you. Actually. Hold up. It's Anti-Tank. Anti-Tank. There you go. That's the tournament you're referring to. Alright, let me try again to You can tell the difference between tournaments. Well, one of them has foreigners, right? This one doesn't. I get it. I get it, man. I get it. There's just a lot of tournaments being asked for us at the moment, which is, you know what, for us, a whole lot of fun. It just means more StarCraft 2 overall. But then again, I suppose this overall storylines do kind of start to intermingle. Maybe we need to consider just kind of making an overall global idea of a tournament as well, right? So maybe looking at who qualifies and then start giving out points wherever people do the best, and then inviting all the people with the most points in the end. As that is kind of what a lot of the tournaments do as well, right? So, I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of fun anyway this way, right? We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, we got another best of 3. Another best of 3. Look at this. Look at that. There's some blue Protoss in the bottom left side. He is being a little bit cheeky. The blue Terran. Did I say Protoss? I don't even know anymore. Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Yeah. Top right side, we have ourselves a red Protoss. Fighting for Raise Your Edge Gaming. He is zest. So handsome, his introductions deserve to be sang. And yeah, what do we have over here? There's 1 bear eggs. 2 bear eggs. Oh my. A 3rd as well. Alright. We had a unique story this month. Yeah, exactly. Stuff happens. Stuff happens. Good stuff, though, to be fair. Really good stuff. So we are just happy overall. And, you know what? We're very fortunate with the opportunities. Count Kozan, exactly. Well, what is this? 1 gateway. 2 gateway. Says figuring out, of course, that there's no barracks in Q's main base. And making those 2 gateways a very safe way to try and deal with this, of course. He's going to make himself a zealot first and foremost. He's going to be able to hold on to the ramp area. Might be able to deny some of those bunkers from being constructed. But, of course, right now the bunker is going to provide that high ground vision for a little bit. At least for a little bit. Alright, gets rid of it. Immediately, secondary bunker gets thrown down. It is incredibly important that at least this, well, at least it stays in production here, right? At least it stays available on that high ground. Man, this micro from Q is absolutely nuts. Look at that, being able to take out that zealot rather quickly. SCVs having to be pulled down. This is a true micro battle right now. Zest should have the advantage overall, I would say. But is he going to be able to pull this one through? Losing this Stalker there is a big deal. But you know what? All the Marines as well. Getting killed off the bunker, though. The bunker is finished up. And I suppose also the shield batteries, though. So that's a whole different story here. I'm not quite sure who wins this one. This is a weird one. This is the battle we've all been waiting for. Repair versus the shield battery. And it looks like the shield battery wins out in the end. Which is weird, because the shield battery only costs a certain amount of money, right? And then anyway, Cess takes this one 1-0. And Kyo actually 1 game away now from elimination. Kyo 1 game away from elimination. Is this actually gonna happen? I thought he was one of the favorites to move on through here, but might not be working out for him anymore. Because he is up against Zest after all. Winning 2 games against Zest, it is possible. It is definitely possible. But I wouldn't really give him the advantage. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it is possible. The thing is, the previous time as well, on the 20th, right, which was also the Cynical Death tournament, they met each other and Zest went 0-2. Or, well, he won versus Kyo, right? With 2-0, I should say. I always mix that up. Anyway, it makes sense in my head because I already have the other information I require, but then I only really communicate the information that I see on the board here, and then 0-2 doesn't really indicate. If I started off with saying Zest and then 0-2, it sounds like he lost, but then it's not really how it's supposed to be communicated, you know? Communication is a difficult thing, guys. People often underestimate it, and so do I. And that was one of those moments where I just thought, you know what, let me just mumble some words together and I'm sure it's going to work out. Didn't really quite work out in that sense. It might work out in some other sense sometimes, but you know what, even I have some difficulties with it sometimes. I don't know why even I usually have the most difficulty with it, I feel like, compared to some other casters. A bit more easy with their vocabulary, quite more practiced and well trained. Anyway, all right, let me see what is going to be happening here. We are not waiting for much of anything. Zest is still Terran. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Game number 2. It's gonna be a fun one, guys, I promise you. You know why? Because, well, I mean, it's on a map that we don't get to see all that often. Only sometimes. There's another map we get to see even less of. But that makes more sense because it's no longer in a GSL, so these guys never, ever practice it anymore. It's Golden Wall. It's actually Golden Wall. We're seeing Golden Wall here in a best of 3. Who would have guessed? I never did. But you know what? A surprise is always welcome. In the bottom left side, we have ourselves a red Ro8 fighting for, well, one more point on the board here. Will he be able to get it? He is Zest. And Kyo, you know what? I think he has something else to do today. There's one. Is there a second SCV? I don't think so. Not yet, at least. Alright, so not as all in as the previous time. Here he is, the Dragon Phoenix Gaming Blue Terran. He is a Cure. Alright, well. There's that barracks. Once again, getting proxied. Zest is gonna start scouting here. We'll see the delayed barracks on the other side of the map. It's only a slight bit delayed, though. I'm not quite sure if Zest will pick up on this. We'll have to wait and see. He should be, right? He'd rather be practicing TVT. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that is the case. Maybe he has, like, TY waiting just behind him, being like, come on, man. Come on, man. We gotta practice. We gotta practice, man. Just beat this boy. Just beat this little Protoss boy. This is the Terran patch, after all, right? I'm not supposed to lose anymore. Of course, whoever wins this one is still gonna have to go up against Rogue as well. So there's another best of 3 waiting on us. Right after this one. Attack Lab on the way. Interesting little bit of cheese here from Cure. Is this what we saw from TY today as well, actually? Is it? Is that gonna be... It looks like it, doesn't it? Single gas, though. No concussive shell just yet. Okay, there it is. There it is. Alright, alright. This is quite a smart maneuver. This probe, though, is checking around. I think Zest has seen the same games. It's like, oh, alright, yep, this, this is what I expected. Keeps his Nexus up. Starts making shield batteries here. Which is definitely something you're gonna need against this type of push. Deja vu. I have been in this place before. Alright, couple of Marauders here. Grabbing himself some of the probes so far. Putting them on low HP. Only gets, yeah, you know what? Gets 2. Gets, ooh, almost gets 3. But with the shield batteries now completed... it's going to be a very tough one for Q. I'm not sure if he can break this anymore. He does have concussive shell now, so, I mean, if Zest moves too far away from those shield batteries, he could get punished. But then again, I mean, what reason would he have to move away from the shield batteries? I don't think there is one. Another barracks being constructed here for Q. What's in the... What's? This is going to go straight up into 3 barracks. Would be cool to see if he tries to hide the overall forces here a little bit, right? Make it look like he is gone back home. We'll have to wait and see. Robotics facility also on the way now, getting constructed. That stim pack on the way as well. It's gonna be a long while before that stim pack is completed. And Zest is just comfortably mining off of the 2 bases here, of course. He's on 3 gas. He's got, you know what? I think here just needs to hope that Zest forgets about his pylons here, gets supply blocked, and then gets screwed here. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. He's just building more units right now. Hoping to bulk up here, like some sort of a pro wrestler. Bulking up the day before a match. I don't know if they do it the day before a match, actually. I don't think they do necessarily. When is the weigh-ins, really, for these types of things? Is it that far away? I'm not that big of a boxing fan. Or a wrestling fan. Alright, well then, okay. SCV's coming in as well. Might as well, right? This is pretty much as all-in as an all-in gets. The hallucinated Phoenix is trying to figure out how all-in this exactly is. And now, you know what, he definitely knows. He definitely knows. He invests into another shield battery there. I don't blame him. Alright, here we go. That first force field's already kind of a dangerous situation. It's like, do I want to commit here? Do I really want to try to send my army through this little tiny gap right now? Oh, stims, and well, once again, those force fields finding a great opening there. And I don't think you're just gonna break this. I just don't see this working, guys. Yeah, GG. GG is called. And there you have it. 2-0 victory there for Zest. Well, once again, being able to beat back the Terran onslaughts here and being the Protoss hope. But you know what? He's not there yet, right? He hasn't qualified for the playoffs quite yet. Actually, he has already. Yeah, he qualified for the playoffs as well in the other. This is kind of funny, actually. If we get Zest and Innovation moving onwards here, we have them in both of these playoffs, and you know what? That is rather impressive. That's rather impressive, actually. If Zest and Innovation in both tournaments that we have running right now get themselves into those playoffs, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. When do we have the playoffs, actually? Because I know for this tournament, right, if Innovation and Zest both advance, I'm not sure, is Innovation going to go up against TY in those playoffs? We might have a best of 5 TY versus Innovation, which could be trouble. Playoffs is this Sunday. When is the GSL finals? And is it Innovation versus TY? Are we going to have Innovation versus TY here next Wednesday? So this Saturday for GSL. Do we already know if where Innovation placed? Maybe I should just reload the page. Maybe it's already there. We do have Innovation versus TY in a best of 5 on this Sunday then. A couple of days before Wednesday. Which might be where we have the finals, Innovation versus TY. No? No? Oh. I'm trying to piece this together, guys. I'm trying to figure it out. Is that what we're gonna have? Because that would be pretty cool. You're right, Innovation versus TY. Yeah. We're stealing the GSL finals here. In a best of 5 series, though, to be fair, but Innovation has to beat Cure still? No, he doesn't. Well, yeah, right, in the GSL he does. Not here, though, but that's right. Yeah, my bad. I think he will, though. I think he will beat Cure in that TVT. I have good hope. I think all the stars are aligning. And I think that's gonna happen. All right. Anyway, guys, let me quickly try to run an 60-second ad break, so we avoid having the ad breaks going on during the match. All right. 1 sec. You know, that's a very good flow right now. Yeah, I agree. It really does. His TVT is nuts as well. I mean, he keeps beating Maru. It's gonna be so awkward, though. That's gonna be so incredibly awkward. If we get Innovation versus TY in a best of 5. Even if it's not Innovation, if it is TY versus Cure, right? That is still going to be awkward. Because TY is then going to be limited in what he's going to be doing. Innovation isn't going to be limited at all whatsoever. Man, getting nerd chills. Nerd chills thinking about it. We might get mentioned on the GSL because of this. If that happens. Oh, I love it. I love it. My evil self, evil Kozen, is coming above being like, we'll have the GSL finals before the GSL finals has the GSL finals in our semi-finals. Would be sick. Would be sick. You know, that's a lot of variety in his builds right now. Yeah, it's true. That's true. But then again, like, I mean, you still kind of go in with a plan, right? You still, like, you still kind of decide what you want to do against your opponents in a best of 7, right? You're kind of like, all right, well, I'm going to start off with like the proxy 2 ranks. Then I'm going to start mixing in this. And then once he's kind of used to this, I'm going to start doing this. And those mind games are going to start before the actual match is going to start. Because of this tournament. Which is, you know what, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to. It just means that everybody who's watching this tournament is going to have a little bit of a pre-taste and a bit of pre-knowledge about what they might be doing against each other. Right? I mean, also, if they try something interesting or something weird, I mean... So, for example, right, there used to be this thing in World War I where, I don't know if this is a good analogy, but we're running with it. So in World War I, there used to be people continuously trying to experiment with all sorts of new machinery, all sorts of new equipment, things like that, right? And they couldn't really, for example, the first time they made a tank, they were like, well, we don't know if this is gonna work, right? We have no idea what's gonna happen. It might just sink into a mud pool, and then we're gonna be stuck there. And who knows? Maybe they're gonna hit it with a rocket, and it's gonna explode, or maybe, you know what? You don't know what's gonna happen. Anyway, so because of this, they had a lot of stuff where they continuously had an idea about something they didn't want to really fully incorporate it just yet and fully bank on something quite yet. And then they would put it in the field. For example, right, the Germans famously using poisonous gas, for example, right? Not really knowing, like, all right, how well is this gonna do? Is it gonna be effective? Is it just gonna blow up in the sky? Is it just gonna do something completely different? What is gonna happen with it, right? Is it gonna work? We don't know. Is it not gonna work because they're in their trenches? No idea. And then they would implement small experimental pockets, right? Just having a couple of groups of people trying it out. And then once it was very effective, it turned out to be very effective. Then they would be like, oh wow, this is really good. And they would start making the thing, right? They would start setting up all the entire production for it so they can use it in mass. But then at the moment when they were able to have everything in that mass production, everything was being created, the opponents, seeing how effective it was in that small setup, started making countermeasures, right? So at the same time, when, for example, the poisonous gas would start to get implemented on higher scale, the allies, they would have gas masks, right? They had gas masks developed because they knew this was something that was coming their way. And I feel like this is a pretty cool idea about, like, you know, they can try very interesting things, some weird things in the, because it isn't the GSL finals, but at the same time, if that weird thing works, right, you're gonna be like, oh great, I could use this in the GSL finals, but then at the same time, you might don't want to anymore because your opponent's gonna have countermeasures. I don't know. I like to compare StarCraft and overall mind games to actual warfare from history. Anyway, enough of that. Here we go. Game number 1 between the final best of 3 that we have for today. In the bottom right side, we have ourselves a red Protoss player. He's from Ro8 Gaming. He is the, well, he might not be the best today, but he is very oftentimes. Anyway, he is Zester. Top left side, blue Zerg fighting for Jinner. Green wings, he is none other than Rogue. June Wick, thank you for that follow as well, by the way. Did I forget anyone? I don't think I did. I hope I didn't. Anyway, I very much appreciate all those follows, guys. Thank you for all the support. Of course, ITaX would not be here without the support of you guys, without you guys watching, sharing these types of things with your friends, telling them about the stream, and of course, any other support that you do provide, whether it be subs, whether it be Patreon things, whether it be just filling out a code on the match arena, or buying a replay pack. All of that stuff, guys, whatever it is very much appreciated, and we hope that you will continue to support us throughout the overall other tournaments that we still have in the works, right? Who knows? We might be able to get more bigger tournaments going in the future, and we would love to, and we wouldn't be able to do so without the support of the entire StarCraft 2 community helping us out as well. Anyway, here we go. Here we go. Proby, do your best. Do some scouting there, Proby. Figure it out. Figure it out. He's putting all the puzzle pieces together. He's like, what's this pipe doing here? Are you planning something with this pipe? Are you installing sewage for your Zerg brethren? Does that mean you're trying to set up an elementary school here as well? A little tiny Zerg elementary school? I hope not. On the other side, the Overlord is kind of doing a similar thing. He's like, what are you doing over here, sir? Apparently he stands the exact same way as the probe. Building a cybernetics core, I see. It looks like a... It kind of looks like that. What's that place called in Australia? The big Opera House? Is it just called the Opera House? Kind of looks like the Opera House, doesn't it? You think they took inspiration from the Opera House for the cybernetics core? They very well could have. Anyway, they're building an Opera House. I mean, even Satan is called Lucy, in a way, right? Lucifer, little Lucy. Right, well, the Adapter trying to figure out some scouting. Sees not too much, right? As well, he pretty much sees what's important, I suppose. Would like to see probably the a bit of the drone count here as well. It's still gonna go up into the main, not committing just quite yet. Probes are machines, guys. They don't have any intent of evil or doing good. All right, they don't compute any. No, it's not the probes, it's the people using the probes, alright? The probes aren't evil, the people using probes are evil. Alright, anyway. I've heard this debate somewhere before. 2 more gateways and the The Adept Glaive's going to be taking part in this game. The Overlord is capable of seeing more Adepts being warped in, kind of an indicator that this is coming across the way. We see the Roach Warren very nicely being created in time here. We're up to 42 drones, so that is a good amount for Rogue. We need to see more Zerglings though. He only has 4 Zerglings right now. He's going with a very old-fashioned way of dealing with this. Normally, right now, people do a lot more with the Zerglings as well, right? The Zerglings very capable of kind of keeping up with those shades. As long as you stay right on top of the shades, you will be able to pretty much, well, get so much surface area on those Adepts that no matter how many of them they have, it's still not going to really work out. Because of that surface area on those links. Now, Rogue instead just going to stick to the roaches here, which is the way people used to deal with it. But I'm a bit worried. Maybe this is still, you know, it used to work pretty okay. It definitely did, but you need to be careful. As those shades, they are incredibly quick, and you can't be in 2 places at the same time with those roaches. Cancelling another shades here. I think those roaches came back a little bit too quickly, and you know what? Wow, okay, Rogue definitely holding on for dear life so far. He is a little bit behind on those workers, but of course we don't have a 3rd base for Zest yet, so it's a little bit of a boon for him. Well, we have a shade finishing up this time around. Might be able to commit here, actually. Ooh, doesn't do it again. Playing it very safe with those Adepts right now. Also, very important to note, a great amount of Overlord spreading here. Look at this vision from Rogue, right? It is in perfect condition to really keep tabs on where the Adepts are going to, where the War Prism is going to, and that's how he's actually capable of holding the Adept aggression here this well. It's a big part of the overall defense here that Rogue is setting up, and you know what? Yeah, there we have it. The Adepts now having to move backwards. That doesn't mean probe should be legal. We have the Second Amendment right to probe. That's right. Probes bring the best cosplay in StarCraft. To balance probes is evil. Man, alright, we started some crazy stuff here today. Anyway. This is a fun one though. There are a couple of sentries here, but as we can note, Zest not really having that same amount of vision here. The observers and the War Prism not really being able to be in a place here to see the army movement over Rogue, and thus not really being able to hold them back on that ramp area. Right now, just in the middle of nowhere, really, being completely surrounded. Look at that concave Rogue is setting up here. A lot of his units are hitting that pylon, and a little bit of the Nexus as well, but you know what, he kind of corrects them. Targets the Immortals here as well. And that base is not meant for life anymore. That is definitely going to go down. Rogue, he is looking incredibly impressive today. And you know what, I thought I really was under the impression, no matter who advances here, I'm pretty sure Rogue will not be amongst the 2. But he is bringing it quite close right now, and he's changing my mind about him. He definitely still has it, guys. He definitely can still bring, well, games very, very tight here to players that, you know what, you would consider amongst the best of the other races, right? GG is gold, and Zest, it goes down 1-0 right now. Falls behind in the score overall. Needs to get himself, well, 2 points in a row right now. Not quite sure if that's going to be a possibility for him, but we'll have to wait and see. Zest left the party. Did I forget about an entire game there? Wasn't that the first game between Zest and Rogue? Got accidentally clicking on collections instead of replays here. Oh god, alright. Of course it needs to load up the entire game for the collection. I have so much in my collection, guys. That's why. Alright, no, here we go. Zest Rogue. Zest Cure. That's right. So, I'm not sure why Zest left the party. Was it a misclick? Maybe he just rage quit the game. It's like, ah, Zerg! It's like, even with my probes, they came and took my probes. They took my probes. They took my probes. Anyway, so bad. Alright, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens, of course, in game number 2. It's been an incredibly quick day today so far, guys. Not the most epic of games, but you know what? Some pretty darn solid strategies being thrown out and about. And I have to wait and see. Zest is still in a little bit of a flurry here, I suppose. We need to have him back online. Maybe he's watching the replay. That's a possibility, of course. Maybe he's just watching the replay. Let me see, actually, if I can still see him on the... wait, which one is it? ITaX. I don't see him there either, so... I don't know. I don't know where he went. Let's just assume that he's watching a replay, right? The replay of the map that I just played. Trying to figure out what went wrong exactly. I thought the Adept Pressure was going to do a lot more, because we kind of saw Rogue completely skipping the Zerglings. But other than that, the overall defense was rather impressive, right? Instead of around the 4-minute mark and holding with the Zerglings at the start, he did make that Roach Warren a lot earlier, which made that actually possible to hold off like that. Another thing was, of course, he had a great amount of drones as well, right? He managed to drone up relatively nicely and getting up to 42 drones there. Which is amount of drones where when we started seeing these types of adept attacks, people were like, alright, you gotta stay around like 35 workers. There's no other way you can deal with this. It's just too much. It's too strong. What is happening? Then people kind of started figuring it out, and it looks like Rogue kind of finding another piece in this puzzle here, where, you know what, it's also capable of holding it off as long as you make that Roach run just a little bit earlier. You don't even have to get yourself Zerglings, which I suppose saves you larvae, in a way, because you need more larvae for the Zerglings than for the Roaches. So, you know, that is pretty cool to see. That is indeed pretty cool to see. Rogue, I'm starting to believe again. I'm starting to believe again in Rogue here. Suzo leads, thank you for that follow as well. Much appreciated, my dude. Hope you're having a good time. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Welcome to the Alpha X squad. We're a big team with a lot of people helping out. I say big, we have quite a couple of people. We have for graphics, helping out with organizing these types of tournaments, contacting players, contacting sponsors to help out, provide an actual prize pool for the tournaments and the players that play within them. We have a lot of other teams helping out as well, of course, with these types of things. But you know what? We run off the back. The Alpha X itself runs off the back of the support mostly of the viewers and the watchers, and thus we very much appreciate it, guys. Anyway, here we go. Here we go. Another game. It might be a well, we'll have to wait and see. Actually, I wanted to say a quick one, but I mean, no matter what, that first game was so quick. I feel like this series is going to be quick, no matter what happens now. Anyway, in the top right side, we have ourselves the red Protoss. He is a Zest. Yeah. And on the left side, we have ourselves a blue Zerg. He's Rogue. He's just Rogue. Just Rogue, nothing special. He got his hatch blocked. Look at this fool getting his hatch blocked. How ridiculous. Now, it happens to everyone, guys. Zest, actually, I'm a bit surprised that he didn't do it in that previous game, did he? I'm not quite sure. Was that just because of him not being there in time? Was it because of the a quicker hatch from Rogue? Or did Zest just not go for it? I don't know. I don't pay that much attention. I just know that Zest is one of those players that loves to do it. Like 10 out of 10. Absolutely loves to block those hatcheries. Truly believes in the 10 extra win percentage that comes from just blocking that one hatchery. But then again, of course, he is one of those players that truly believes in the Adept Glaive as well, no matter what. And having this hatchery over here definitely helps it out quite a bit in the defense, especially if the Zerg go for solely, well, roach defenses, right? Because those roaches, they're not as quick as we mentioned before, and with this amount of distance between the two bases, it becomes so much more difficult for all the roaches to defend everything perfectly. Now, that aside, that out of the way, let's keep in mind that Zest can, of course, also still go for something else entirely. Although I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting it. Alright, there's the Twilight Council. Again, once more, it looks like we will be having the Adept Glaive aggression here from Zest. Let's see how much it will be able to get done this time around. Of course, it takes a little bit here. Of course, like 1.5 minutes time remaining still. We do see speed on the way as well for Rogue. I'm gonna keep my tab or my eye on the production tab to figure out whether at what timing exactly he throws down that Roach Warren, or if we are gonna see the more regular circling response right now, which has become more common to see. You know, keeping in mind that he had to put his third base this far away. I would say that in these types of situations, the Zergling's even a bigger benefit. Because in that previous game, we definitely saw Zest coming in on that third base. There were no drones there whatsoever. Right? On that game of Simulacrum, that third base, 0 drones there. Had to either get to the natural and... Ooh, my. I'm sorry, it's... that always happens when I see a Dark Shrine. It's like some sort of a natural... it might be traumatic effect suddenly turning into some weirdness, but I don't know. Anyway, a Dark Shrine is on the way here. We are not seeing any type of a glaive attack. Very interesting. Right, now how much is he going to commit to this is the next question, of course. I'm not quite sure what Zest is typing here. He might have to go to the toilet again. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Is this... Oh, does he even see the Warp Prism here? Okay, he sees the Warp Prism. Just inching away. There he sees it again. A couple of depths as well. He does notice. And the Warp Prism immediately moving his way towards that main base. Might be able to set up... Oh, might be able to set up shop there in the little bit of... well, quite a bit of fog of war here. There he is. This could be rather dangerous to Dark Templar. There is a single Spore Crawler, but only a single Spore Crawler in that main base. Will Zest get on top of it? He will just barely not. Will be able to clean up most of the Zerglings, though. Rogue immediately starting that lay attack, realizing, you know what, I need to get myself stealth detection. Making 2 more Spore Crawlers here. 1 in the natural and 1 in the third base as well. Zest, well, that is pretty much all that... all of that. Zest, leggy. Rogue, I'm okay. Into ping, ping is 10. Ah, and then what did Zest say? It's over here. Wait, is this easier to read for you? Tell us, we need to know. We need to know. It's more important than what's actually happening. I think my internet is a bit weird. Alright. I'm slowly learning Korean, thanks to Underdog. 82, 60, 68. I thank you. I thank you. Alright. Little me, thank you for that follow as well. I'm not sure how this is going to develop from this point onwards. The overall Dark Templar attack, not really getting anything done. The Archon drop, not getting anything done. And... yeah. You don't even know how to read. You don't... You know how to type, though. It's very similar to reading. Just do it in reverse. Instead of thinking of a sentence and then putting it into letters, you look at letters and then you put that into a sentence in your mind. In your mind, man. Archon's looking to deny some creep here. Get rid of some of that. There's quite a couple of Zerglings here, but you know what, with the adapts should be more than enough to kind of hold that backwards. Would imagine Zest would love to take care of this creep tumor here. There we go. Just managed to do so. Letters in my mind. Letters. 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 Is that better? Is that a little bit better? Better butter in the bitter butter. Batter. Don't put bitter batter in my... No, I don't put bitter butter in my batter. Because with bitter butter, my batter wouldn't be as good as with a bit of better butter. There's no bitter in the batter. Alright, anyway. I don't know. Getting a little bit crazy here, but you know what these players are as well, it looks like. A lot of roaches on the way. Alright, a couple of those Ravagers as well. There is a reasonable amount of force fields available together with the Immortals and the Archons here. Might have enough to hold back this attack for Rogue for long enough. Oh, but I like this though. Rogue spending the time to clean up these rocks, not committing just quite yet. We'll have to spend a lot more force fields here, will Zest do, to hold back these roaches and ravages here. You know, here we go. Force fields are reasonable. Do keep most of them outside. Shield batteries desperately trying to get created here. And Zest, will he be able to hold on? One single Dark Templar here, actually. There's no Overseer available. Come to think about it, where's your Overseer, Rogue? Rogue, you know he has Dark Templar, right? You don't have a single Overseer. He's making 3 right now at home. Where's this third one? Oh, it's over here. Alright, well then. So yeah, I'm not quite sure if Zest either has really seen this quite yet. Otherwise, I would have anticipated a couple more Dark Templars just kind of being constructed here instead of those Stalkers. Though I suppose he's just expecting, you know what, he should have Overseers coming in pretty soon, right? He should have them at some point. Reasonable force fields once more. Biles not hitting the mark, and Rogue making a wise choice. Going, you know, being like, you know what, if you have that much defenses here, I'm just going to go elsewhere and see how well I do over in this place. It's a bit tighter of a squeeze for his Roaches and Ravagers, so it's not as much of a necessity to have the gazillion shield batteries here. The concave might be enough versus the small choke points that we have before Rogue to squeeze through. But yes, that's definitely doing a pretty bang-up job so far, keeping himself safe. Losing only a couple of gateways. And there you have it, guys. No Overlord needed in this case, Underdog. You just need yourself a whole bunch of units, a good amount of force fields, and as many shield batteries as you can afford. Right, aggressive blink forward here, trying to pick off as many retreating forces as possible. And Zest, is he going to be able to push on through here? He's on the edge of creep, looking to break his opponent with a counterattack. That's a massive amount of Protoss right now. Looking at the supplies, it's looking relatively equal, but of course the Protoss source is just slightly a bit favored here in that, well, the fact that they have 5 Immortals on their side and 2 Archons as well. They're pretty darn good. Look at that rain though. Jeez Louise, the rain of the Biles. I think Rogue is anticipating that he might have to go up on top of his own ramp here, so already breaking that out to avoid the force fields from really screwing him up over there in that situation. More Ravagers being constructed, but this base does not seem to be really meant for this world for much longer. The Biles, although, you know what, those Biles were pretty darn solid there. Rogue in a pickle though for sure. He's gonna lose this base. And I don't think he's out of the woodworks just quite yet, guys. Couple of Immortals and sentries down the right side, a little bit stuck, but not getting obliterated just quite yet. More Biles holding off Zest from moving into this tiny little choke area here. Trying his best to just hold on for dear life. Zest also realizing, you know what, this might be it. He's warping in more units behind us, trying to dodge those Biles just by blinking backwards. A lot of the Immortals inching themselves closer and closer to the overall line of defenses here for Rogue. Will Rogue still have enough though? I'm not quite sure. It's tough. Zest thinks he has it, jumps right on top of it. All the blinking is gonna be done here. I'm not sure if that was the right call, but it looks like it will be. Another blink forward, more Stalkers reinforcing, another Immortal, and there you have it. Zest ties up the series 1-1. GG is called, and there you have it. Another game that actually will go into game number 3. And also, thank you, Night Garden TV, for that follow. Much appreciated. Nice defense by Zest earlier. Yeah, that was nuts. That was nuts. I really didn't think he would hold on there. But, you know what? Very, very clean hold in the end. Great force fields. Very patient with his players. Positioning, not overcommitting. Sorry. I don't know why that happens sometimes. I think it's just overall talking too much. And then it's my body being like, you know what? Let's burp as well. Because everything's spilling out here. Anyway, it doesn't seem like he cares whatever comes out of his mouth. So let's just throw that out there as well. Anyway, we have ourselves a tied up series here, guys. Zest and Rogue That got close. That got close. Man. I appreciate it, Night Garden. Thank you, dude. Gavierly? Wait, I probably shouldn't pronounce that like that. Gavierly. Gavierly? Gavierle. Olin Givens and Vetenace. Vetenace. Thank you. Whenever I'm not quite sure with the overall pronunciation of your name, I kind of go French and pretend to be French. It's a good way to get out of trouble, honestly. Like, it's my main go-to maneuver. Whenever I think I'm in trouble, I just pretend to be French, and then people are like, well, I guess he's French. I guess he can't help himself. No. It's mostly like they don't. Then they're like, alright, I can't talk to him, so that's a problem. You got it. I got it, really. Did I? I feel like I said like 6 different things though, so... Well, at least one of those was correct. That's nice. That's nice. Alright, game number 3 is gonna be loading up here relatively shortly. I would assume both these players saying GG. And yeah, Rogue. I mean, he's not really going into the late game so far, right? But then again, none of these players have today, so I can't really fault him for that. But that early game of Rogue definitely looking like it has been, it's kind of been taking some, you know what, tightening some bolts, loosening some screws if they are, you know, if it's good to loosen screws. I don't know if it is. Just didn't want to say tightening screws as well, because it's already tightening up those bolts. Unloosening. Maybe unloosening would be a cool way to say it. I don't know. I'm just experimenting here with my overall, the English language. Alright. Here we go, guys. Game number 3. In that top right side, we have ourselves a red Protoss. Fighting for Raise Your Edge Gaming. What is he doing? He is zest. He's gonna go for another hatchery block, isn't he? Oh my, oh my. In the bottom left side, we have ourselves a blue Zerg. Fighting for Jin Air Green Wings. He is... Rogue. Rogue. Sometimes R's are difficult for me. I don't know why. Grid. I'm not sure what you want with grid as a command, sir. Bracket, there you go. There you go. I was like, how do I help you? How do I help you when I don't know what you want? That's it. You figured it out yourself. You don't even need my help. It's alright. It's alright. Well, this is good. It's good that you don't need my help. That's fine. That's fine. Anyway, once again, we're seeing that that hatchery block here. Could facilitate some nice... once again, like I mentioned a couple times, adept glaive attacking. That timing always a little bit more volatile with the drones on that third base location instead of the natural. But then again, maybe in that previous game, Zest making it look like that was the logical follow-up. And then at the same time, just not gonna go for it at all, right? So that was a pretty big brain maneuver as well. Let's see if he's gonna do something similar this time around. And what that something is going to be, of course. Oh, there's the another pylon being dropped. Stop toying with these bottle caps. Pretty sure that is distracting. Alright, anyway. I'm a fiddler. I like to fiddle with things. Rogue actually trying to minimize the amount of overall lost mining here he's doing, so staying on 60 wicks and then just kind of putting that waypoint over on that second base here. Spreading out the overall loss of minerals here instead of this one big pocket of lost minerals at the start of the game because he's not mining. Might not see him do this, of course, if he did have that second base right available there. It's always nice to have those bases not mine out as quickly, right? Just kind of equally, well, a little bit more equal, I suppose. Dry up. So you can rely on the income for a little bit longer. a little bit more equally. Alright, anyway. Twilight Council is getting constructed here once more. No Adept Glaives getting started just yet. It has been finished, but we'll need to see if he's going to throw down that Dark Shrine again here, or if he's actually planning a Adept Aggression this time around. What is he doing? It looks like a Dark Shrine. It is going to be the Dark Shrine. Alright, okay. He's going at it again. I mean, it definitely worked out the previous time. Maybe it was because he got... You know what? He did get held relatively painfully in that first game on Simulacrum. The Adepts never really finding any type of good fortune. And maybe Zest trying to just do some other stuff here. Does Zest not like Stargate openings in PvZ? I don't think he does. I'm trying to think back on whenever I've seen Zest go for that Stargate opening in PvZ, and I can't remember any. Honestly. Like, it's pretty much always either the Twilight Council or straight into the Dark Shrine. I think those are the two things he does. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is pretty cool. So Rogue this time around, kind of as well, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but you know what? He is, in fact, going for a couple of links here before actually adding in that Roach Warren. So it is the more normal approach against the Adept Glaive attack. He's not getting any Spore Crawlers anywhere, right? Okay, there's... Oh, wait. He has one Spore Crawler. It's going to be put at the front door, which is a pretty good call, as that's exactly where those Dark Templars are coming in from. How does he know? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, two more Spore Crawlers immediately being constructed. One at this third base. Ooh, target is down. How much transfuse do we have? I'm not quite sure. Just one, right? Just one indeed. That could be a lot of trouble. 3 Dark Templars now coming into play. Needs to pay attention to that other Spore Crawler, of course, that is coming in. Targets down the Spine Crawler as well. Looking for that Roach Warren here. Isn't going to be able to get him. Alright, there is the Spore Crawler in the main base as well. Look at how low that War Prism is actually. Needs to be extremely careful. The Queen definitely looking for that one. Oh my. Oh my, yeah, I don't think that's going to work out. Was he actually outside of range there with those Dark Templar? Man, Zest is nuts. He really is the best, isn't he? He really is so good, just waiting for a bit of shield energy to regen, and then coming in to save the Dark Templars afterwards. I'm impressed. Call me impressed, Zest. Zest was born to impressed. No, I wasn't, because I make up silly rhymes like those at times. Gonna have to stop this. Gonna have to stop the rhyming. I swear, it's the one ear deafness making me crazy. Well, I mean, overall, is there anyone really ahead at this point? I guess the Dark Templar didn't get to do with a crazy amount, right? They got like 2 sport. Well, I guess this is pretty nice damage overall. I mean, that's still 550 extra minerals lost for his royalty rogue. Royalty. Templar Archives as well now in construction. I'm in a weird mood today, it seems. This hatchery is gonna need to be cancelled. Yeah, one more shot and that would have been killed. Rogue reading that situation nicely. Keeping it, well, at least the drone alive, right? A couple of the, bit of a, well, turn back on the investment. But the Archons continue onwards with pressing that creep backwards, of course, here. Will not stand for the spreading of the creep. Ooh, Hydras now, though, on the map as well. Need to be more careful with that War Prism movement. It's gonna just target down a Hydra here and be like, okay, I'm out. It's not like there's 25 other roaches there right next to it. No, it's fine, it's fine. I can do this, guys. Don't worry about it. Trust me. Trust me. Oh, we have Lurkers coming out for Rogue. This is starting to ramp up into quite a nice macro game here between these two players. War Prison moving towards that top area. How many gateways do we have over here? Four more pylons as well. 4 gateways in the main as well. Man. Just never been to the school of hard rock. Never learned that 3 is the magic number. I think 4 is the magic number somehow. Look at this actually. He has 6 Eye Templar and they couldn't one-shot one single circling when they all targeted it down. You still need 2 shots to kill off a single circling. That's pretty nuts. Zest? 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 This, oh my god. Oh my god. Are you joking? Are you kidding me? 2 links getting 7 probes? 7? 2 links? What? Why? Why? They're still there as well, Zest. Okay, okay, he cleaned them up. He cleaned them up, guys. It's fine again. I mean, I guess I'm not the only one that's in a weird mood. Zest is like, I don't need probes. I don't need probes. I just need more army supply now. Maybe it was all a ruse. A smart ruse, looking like he was AFK. Right? And he's like, alright, now I'm prepped for that late game. Gonna have myself a whole lot of army. Nice Warsuits there, catching a couple of those Hydras. But at the same time, Rogue finding the opportunity to burrow quite a couple of those lurkers here. Good amount of roaches as well, helping out in this facility. Facilitating a nice aggression. As, you know, the Rogue is getting pretty much everywhere, right? Zergling's now moving in on the left side as well, as the Roach is still shooting away at the front door here. And, oh my dear lord, Rogue is actually doing incredibly well here today, guys. He really is making quite a show out of this one. And he's impressing me. Oh my, that pylon needed, well, I mean, that's a lucky pylon right there. Well, I would have to say lucky gateways too. Might want to consider throwing another one nearby there. What in the what? What happened with that? What? Why are there like that many dropper lords there? This game is crazy, guys. This is getting absolutely nuts. This is quite something else. I was not expecting this today from, well, at least not from Rogue. But he's definitely bringing it. He's bringing his A game here today. Look at the position of these lurkers as well now. This is incredibly difficult to clean up for Zest. Zest trying his best here. Oh boy. High Templar from the backside trying to get those storms, but look at how cost of inefficiently they're trading. The Immortals, that's what you need against this, are going to be able to clean this up. I wouldn't mind just seeing a retreat from the lurkers that are still here. But at the same time, we're seeing another lurker on this base, another lurker on this base, and Zest once again not paying attention. 14 lurkers in total, 12 on that single one where the probes never got pulled away from, and this is just a confusing mess right now for both these players, I feel like. But Rogue definitely having a bit of an upper hand in the overall creation of confusion here, and making it work into his advantage for sure. It's, well, 1 DT here. Should be getting killed off by the lurker AoE damage, I would assume. There's Overseers as well, of course. Another base does fall though for Rogue. As he is a little bit hard pressed there, needs to defend this base. There's so many Immortals here. Is Zest just gonna have barely enough to push on through? The Immortals need to stop being stacked on top of one another. Need to make a nice line horizontally, well, vertically now for us. And that is not gonna work out for Zest here. He has to move backwards. Go back to that top side, and the overall supplies right now absolutely plummeted. Rogue having an insane income advantage. The army size, as you can see, look at that. That is nasty. That's definitely still having a little bit of an opportunity there, but with that final push, just walking into those lurkers, everything falling apart here. Zest is, well, apparently gonna get dethroned. No longer the best. He got taken out by Innovation here. Also getting taken out by Rogue. I don't see a possible way of of a comeback here, guys. Unfortunately, for any Zest fan in that that are watching right here today, but you know what, the Rogue fans must be rejoicing seeing Rogue being able to not only take on Cure, but also being able to take on Zest here in a best of 3, and both on the same day. This was a marvelous day for Rogue, a wonderful comeback, and I love to see him back in this good shape again. What a series, what a show, and that's going to be the final best of 3 here for these two players. Now, wonderfully played, wonderfully played. Well done there by Rogue. I really never expected Rogue to be the first, well, the second player to advance here. But it happens, which means in the playoffs for this tournament, we will have ourselves, well, a best of 5 between Solar and Rogue. We'll have the other best of 5, which is Innovation versus TY. And then, afterwards, we'll have this Sunday a final series with a best of 7, of course, which will be a ZVT. Guaranteed. Either Solar versus TY, or Solar versus Innovation, or, well, of course, Rogue versus TY or Innovation. I mean, that's just a lovely day in the making right there. And if anyone is a fan of TVZ, you're going to have a good time. And yeah, I'm very pleased with that one, guys. A guaranteed TVZ finals for this overall tournament into the Alpha X Pro Circuit 2. Remember, guys, there's a Metrorino page. I am going to quickly switch over to my own channel. It is at Really Kozan. And I'm going to try to hop onto the tail end of the Pavel Star tournament here. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good time. Come check me out, actually, on at Really Kozan. We're going to continue onwards with casting. Let me see who's playing, actually, quickly, as we are getting this sorted. I should have checked this out a bit earlier. No problem. I'm going to continue onwards with the stream. It is not going to be these players, though, of course. It is going to be... Who's playing there? It's... Where is it? Oh, it's live right now, of course. It is Has versus Super. So, if you want to check that one out, come and have a look. Alright, guys. Hope to see you in a bit. Alright. And otherwise, see you next time. Okay? Okay, bye-bye. Hit me up at Really Kozan. It's the Twitch. Alright? Alright. See you soon.